God says, this is for you, and do not skim. Do not try to tell yourself it can wait. I am speaking directly into your heart because I see the pain that weighs on your soul, the confusion that keeps you awake at night, the tears you hide from everyone because you do not want to appear vulnerable. Your Father in heaven is speaking now, and this message is urgent. He promises forever to you, yet she is still in his life, and that reality has pierced your spirit in ways you cannot put into words. Listen carefully, because this is not a message you can ignore. This is a moment of truth, a turning point, and if you allow it to pass without understanding, it will come back to haunt you. God is begging you to pay attention. First, understand this. I see the love in your heart, the loyalty, the trust, the way you give endlessly without asking for anything in return. But you are not blind, and I am not blind. You have noticed her, you have felt her presence, you have felt the silent, invisible weight of someone else occupying the space that belongs to your heart. And it is confusing, it is heartbreaking, it is shaking the very foundation of your faith in love. God says, I see it all, and I am not asking you to endure this passively. I am asking you to awaken. This is your divine moment to recognize truth, even when it hurts. Even when the man you love promises forever, even when his lips say, I choose you, the shadow of her existence cannot be ignored. This is not about blame. This is not about anger. This is about clarity, about seeing the full picture of what is before you and what is possible. Do not let your heart be fooled by words alone. Words are easy, actions are the mirror of truth. God says, pay attention to how he acts when she is present, how he speaks when she is mentioned, how he divides his attention between you and her. The heart knows what it feels, but the eyes must see. If there is inconsistency between the promise and the reality, your soul is already aware. This is why I am speaking to you now. Do not silence that voice inside you that senses the imbalance, that senses the tension, that feels the unease. That voice is your divine compass, the voice of your soul, and it is connected directly to me. I am speaking through that discomfort. I am saying, do not ignore it. Do not explain it away. Do not convince yourself that love alone will erase the presence of another. This is not a test of patience alone, this is a test of clarity, of discernment, of self-respect, of your willingness to protect the sanctity of your own heart. God says, it is not enough to hope that he will choose you fully. You must see whether he is choosing fully. A heart divided cannot provide the peace you need. A love that shares its devotion cannot give the certainty your spirit craves. Do not mistake compromise for commitment. You are not meant to settle. You are not meant to shrink yourself to fit into someone else's indecision. This is not punishment, this is truth. And it is given to you as a gift, to guide you, to protect you, to keep you aligned with the destiny I have for you. Because if you remain in confusion, if you remain in a relationship clouded by the presence of another, your energy, your soul, your future will be dimmed. I do not want that for you. God is begging you not to waste a moment in denial. Do not let the fear of losing him blind you to the truth of what is already happening. Now hear me, this is not the time for desperation. This is not the time for pleading, for begging, for quiet suffering. This is the time for action, but the kind of action that honors your heart, the kind of action that respects your spirit. God says, first, recognize your worth. You are not a consolation prize. You are not someone to wait for in a shadow. Your value is infinite. Your heart is sacred. And the one who promises forever but allows another presence to linger is not yet ready to honor the totality of your gift. This is not failure. This is revelation. And it is better to see this now than to see it later, when your heart has been trapped in illusions for years. God says, let me lead you to clarity, even if clarity feels sharp, even if it pierces you like a sword, even if it shakes everything you thought was real. Next, understand the mechanics of the situation. This is not about blame. This is about seeing clearly. She exists in his life for reasons that may not be clear to you yet. Maybe she holds history, maybe she holds comfort, maybe he has not yet released the ties that bind him. God says, it is not your responsibility to fight her or compete. This is not a battle you can win with force or strategy. Your power comes from within, from recognizing your own divinity, your own worth, and your own readiness to receive full love. When you operate from that space, decisions become clear. When you operate from fear, confusion, or hope alone, you remain trapped. God says, I am calling you to the higher ground, the space where your soul is aligned with truth, where your heart cannot be fooled, where your love cannot be diluted by circumstance. The next step is not easy, but it is necessary. God says, examine the promises and the reality. He promises forever, but does his reality reflect that promise? Where there is division, there is uncertainty. Where there is secrecy or hidden affection, there is dishonesty, even if it is subtle. God says, do not compromise your soul for the comfort of illusion. You must ask yourself the hard questions. Does he show you through actions that you are the chosen one? Does he prioritize your happiness as fiercely as he declares his love? Does he make space for you, fully, without hesitation, without distraction, without compromise? If the answer is not a resounding yes, then understand that your heart is being asked to awaken, not to wait. And God says this with urgency, you cannot force love. You cannot control the heart of another. But you can control your own response, your own boundaries, your own willingness to honor yourself. Stand firm in your truth. Declare to yourself that your love deserves the entirety of devotion. Do not settle for partial presence. Do not settle for divided affection. God says, I am with you, and I am urging you to see this fully, to act fully, to protect your heart with divine wisdom. This is a turning point. Do not ignore it. Do not delay it. Your soul is calling for liberation, and my voice is echoing through your awareness, demanding that you listen, demanding that you honor yourself above fear or hope that is not matched by action. And know this, God says, what is meant for you will not have another shadow in its path. What is truly yours will arrive fully, without compromise, without dilution, without second place. This is not punishment for your patience. This is proof that the love I have designed for you is perfect, whole, and free from confusion. Do not be afraid to step back, to create space, to demand clarity. Love is not chaos. Love is not waiting. Love is not being asked to shrink yourself to fit into someone else's divided devotion. God says, the fullness you seek exists, and it will not arrive until you recognize your worth and refuse to accept less. You are called to courage, to discernment, to clarity. You are called to divine action, and this is the moment for it. God says, listen carefully, because this next part is even more urgent. You must not let your heart remain in limbo. Do not allow hope alone to dictate your decisions. Hope without clarity is dangerous. Hope without alignment with truth will only prolong your suffering. I am begging you, your Father in heaven is pleading with you, to act with discernment, to move with wisdom, to step into the light of understanding even when it hurts. Every tear you shed, every sleepless night, every whispered question in the quiet of your mind has been seen by me. And I am telling you now, it is time to stop pretending that everything is okay. It is time to stop hiding from the truth because the truth, though sharp, is your liberation. God says, when He promises forever, your heart hears it, and it longs for it, and it trusts it. But if another woman still occupies space in his life, space that is sacred to your love, then you must recognize that promise is incomplete. Incomplete promises are dangerous because they build illusions, and illusions break hearts. God says, I am not here to punish you, I am here to awaken you. I am here to pull you from the fog of confusion and plant you firmly in reality. The presence of another in his life is not your fault. It is not a reflection of your inadequacy. It is a reflection of his readiness, or lack thereof, to honor the love you bring. And God says, your love deserves a mirror, a reflection that is complete, undivided, and true. Now hear me clearly, do not let fear of loss hold you in a place where your spirit is trapped. Fear is a tool of the enemy, a shadow that keeps you from receiving what I have prepared for you. God says, step back and observe. Watch his actions without the fog of emotion clouding your vision. Actions reveal the truth in ways words cannot. If he truly chooses you, then his life will adjust to honor you. If he hesitates, if he divides his heart, if he continues to allow her presence in ways that matter, then God says, it is time to protect your heart. Protect it fiercely. Protect it lovingly. Protect it because it is sacred. God is begging you to remember this, your value is immeasurable. Your heart is not to be shared with someone who cannot give you full devotion. You are not a backup plan. You are not a consolation prize. You are the chosen one, and what is meant for you will not come wrapped in confusion, compromise, or divided affection. It will arrive fully, completely, and without question. And until that moment, God says, stand firm. Hold your boundaries. Do not shrink yourself to fit someone else's hesitation. Do not dim your light to make room for uncertainty. Listen to your inner voice, that quiet, powerful voice that knows the truth even when your mind is clouded with hope or fear. That is me speaking directly to you. That is the voice of divine guidance, whispering wisdom into your soul. Do not ignore it. Do not silence it. That voice will lead you to clarity. It will lead you to freedom. It will lead you to the love that matches your devotion, that honors your heart, and that will never allow another to occupy the sacred space meant for you. God says, you may feel anger. You may feel betrayal. You may feel heartache that pierces your very being. All of these emotions are valid. They are part of the process of awakening, part of the journey to seeing clearly, part of the path that will lead you to true love. Do not suppress them. Do not be ashamed of them. But do not allow them to control your actions. Use them as fuel to awaken your courage, your wisdom, and your self-respect. God says, courage is not the absence of fear, it is the decision to act rightly despite fear. And right now, your soul is being called to courage. Understand this is a season of testing, but also of revelation. Every moment you feel confusion, every moment you feel the pull between hope and reality, is a signal. It is a divine signal, calling you to wake up, to rise up, and to demand clarity. God says, clarity is not cruelty. Clarity is love, love for yourself, love for your heart, love for the destiny I have prepared for you. If you act with wisdom, if you step into truth, the universe will respond. The energy around you will shift. Doors that were closed will open. Paths that were blocked will clear. God is urging you to take this step, to claim your heart, and to refuse anything less than the love you deserve. God says, do not be swayed by words alone. Observe. Watch. Pay attention to consistency, to effort, to devotion. Actions are the language of truth, and truth is what your soul must embrace. If he cannot remove her presence, if he cannot honor you fully in his life, then God says, it is not yet your forever with him. And that is not a punishment, that is a divine protection. You are being shielded from a love that is incomplete, from a future that could bring heartbreak disguised as hope. Your heart is precious. Your soul is sacred. And what is meant for you will come without compromise, without doubt, and without hesitation. God says, now is the time for courage. Now is the time to step into your own power, your own clarity, your own divine alignment. Do not wait for him to change. Do not wait for her to leave. Do not wait for circumstances to become convenient. Step now into the space where your heart is honored, where your soul is respected, and where your love is reflected fully back to you. That is where your future lies, and that is where true joy will be found. God says, I am speaking to you again because time is pressing, and your heart cannot afford delay. Do not ignore this message. Do not scroll past it as if it were ordinary words. Every word here carries the weight of heaven, every sentence is infused with my urgency, and your soul is being shaken awake. I see the struggle within you, the yearning, the hope, the quiet prayers whispered in the dark, the silent desperation that lingers even as you try to appear composed. God says, all of this is seen, all of this is acknowledged, and all of this matters. You are not alone, and your pain is not wasted. It is the doorway through which truth will enter your life. God says, when He promises forever, your heart listens. It trusts. It clings. But when she is still in his life, your spirit knows that something is wrong. You cannot ignore that truth. That inner knowing is me, your Father in heaven, speaking to you directly. I am shouting to your soul, urging you to open your eyes, to see clearly, to stop bargaining with illusions. Love does not divide. Love does not share its devotion. Love does not whisper promises while tolerating another presence in ways that matter. God says, you are meant for a love that is pure, undivided, and complete. Anything less is a shadow, a mirage, and I am calling you to step out of that shadow now. Do not mistake patience for passivity. God says, there is a difference between waiting on the right time and waiting on the wrong person. Waiting in confusion, waiting in compromise, waiting in half-truths will not serve you. Your soul is meant for clarity. Your heart is meant for certainty. Your life is meant for the full expression of joy and devotion, and that cannot happen when another lingers in his world. God says, do not rationalize it. Do not excuse it. Do not pretend that hope alone will fix it. This is not hope, this is a test of discernment, and you must pass it. Now hear me. It is not your task to battle her, to compete with her, or to diminish yourself to gain his attention. That path leads only to exhaustion and heartbreak. God says, the only battle worth fighting is the one within yourself, the battle to honor your own heart, to protect your own spirit, to claim your own divine worth. You are sacred. You are powerful. You are chosen. And when you act from that space of self-respect and clarity, you create a force so strong that the universe itself shifts to align with your destiny. God says, observe. Watch closely. Pay attention to the truth revealed in actions, not words. Does He prioritize you? Does He show you that you are the one, through effort, through presence, through unwavering devotion? Or does He allow her to remain, to take space, to dilute the sacred bond you deserve? Your heart already knows the answer, even if your mind is trying to justify what your soul rejects. God says, trust that inner knowing. That is my voice guiding you. That is the compass of your spirit pointing to freedom, to clarity, to a love that honors you completely. And know this, it is okay to feel anger. It is okay to feel hurt. It is okay to feel disappointment. These emotions are natural, they are human, and they are part of the awakening process. God says, do not suppress them, but do not allow them to control you. Channel them into courage, into wisdom, into the strength to step away from situations that do not fully honor your heart. Courage does not mean staying when you are unsure. Courage means acting in alignment with truth, even when it feels frightening. And your soul is being called to that courage now. God says, the presence of another in his life is not your reflection. It is not your inadequacy. It is a mirror of his choices, his readiness, his capacity to honor love fully. And until he chooses fully, without hesitation, without compromise, without divided attention, your heart must remain protected. God says, you are not meant for half measures. You are not meant for compromise in matters of love. You are meant for devotion that is complete, unwavering, and sacred. The love I have for you mirrors this truth. It waits for no compromise. It asks for clarity, for courage, for alignment with the divine purpose I have for you. God says, step into that alignment now. Do not wait for him to change, do not wait for her to leave, do not wait for circumstances to feel convenient. Your heart's alignment is immediate. Your soul's freedom is now. The love that is meant for you will arrive without compromise, without hesitation, without divided devotion. God says, claim that love. Protect your heart. Honor your worth. Act with courage, and the path will open. Your Father in heaven is calling, your Archangel is guiding, and the divine forces surrounding you are aligning. Listen. Observe. Protect. Step into clarity. Stand in courage. Your forever is waiting, and it will not share space with anyone who does not honor your heart completely.